of that. So I will be at different times looking up at this screen here or at one of these two. So I'm live on a few different channels. How's your Saturday going? What are you doing today? What plans do you have? You can do some likes on my channel. And I should go on Facebook and put a post up saying that I'm live. All those things when you're doing multiple channels. Hello, Reynald. Are you from Quebec? It's possible. But that would be an assumption. All right, so I gave some likes to that one, 204. Let's give some likes to this channel. And then I'm going to, like I said, I'm going to share on my other channel, and then we'll get to it. So I'm going to do an energy check-in with the cards, and I do have a message that I channeled this morning. Typically, I channel the message and I record it and put it on my channel. But on the Saturday, I tend to read it on here first, and then I end up posting it later. So I'll let you hear the message that I channeled this morning. And just if it's something that resonates, or, you know, there's a message within it for you, then take what the message is and leave the rest, right? Okay. All righty. I think the Facebook thing, all these little things when you're starting, right? There we go. I put my keyboard away before I did this, so it makes it a little bit. It was funny. It's funny when you see yourself on it. Okay. Anyway, I'm just gonna. It takes a moment to orientate yourself to the keyboard when it's sideways. Oh, they did a change. I don't want to do that. Okay, never mind. We're gonna do. Hello, how are you, love? How are you? Give my hair a little. There we go. All right. How's your Saturday going? Oh, what time do you work at? Nice. Nice. Are you still enjoying your job? Hi, Adbar. Good morning. Nice to see you. Yeah, for the most part. You know, that's one of the easiest ways to look back at, or to figure out what you, or I shouldn't say, maybe easy is a bit of an exaggeration, but if you look at every single job, every single role that you've had, not just jobs like where you've gotten paid, it could be anything. You could have done a volunteer position. It could have been, you know, through your school years, whatever, it doesn't matter. But when you go through all of the different roles that you've had, you look at within that role, what did you like about it and what did you not like about it? And as you go through all of the different roles that you've had, you get to the point where you start to see the things that you really like and the things that you really don't like, and based on a variety of different roles. So then you can determine what you actually like and find a job that kind of encompasses that. With most people. When they're behaving, right? So what's the cool things that are going on in your world? I am still writing several books at the same time and creating courses and gathering more knowledge and all of that stuff, and sharing that with you. I have a book that releases on the 21st of this month on solstice. And that book is Sha'Ryah and the Ghost Who is Afraid of the Dark. So that'll be hitting Amazon, and then it will also be good color, hey. It'll also be I don't know, I lost my train of thought. That happens sometimes. Aw, nice, nice. All those summer things, hey? 10-10, guys. At least it's 10-10 here. Yeah, you punted the idea, right? Like whatever I was talking about right out of my head. Like, nice shirt, huh? What? I love it. Those are the best ones. I don't know what's going on with my hair today. It is just being its own, it's being its own energy, and it's just whatever. I feel like I should go watch Sunday morning cartoon or Saturday morning cartoons, not Sunday morning, Saturday morning cartoons. That's what I feel like I'm ready for. Just have a bowl of cereal. Some, if you could go back into being a child, what cereal would you have? What cereal would you get right now? If you could teleport back to childhood and you could go in your cupboard and get any cereal, what was the cereal that you would grab from your cupboard? I have to think about that too. I had some instant ideas. Tricks? Ooh, there's going back. Ooh. I mean, you could always have some Captain Crunch and just ruin your mouth. But Captain Crunch was tasty. But it just like destroyed your mouth. Yeah, I thought about Lucky Charms as well, or Fruit Loops, right? And then I thought about Lucky Charms, and I've since becoming, as far into things as I am now, I call them Yucky Charms because there's so many chemicals in them. They're yucky. But when I was a kid, they were. And when you eat your Lucky Charms, do you eat the marshmallows last? I feel like, what is that one? Do you eat them very slowly or do you eat them very fast? When you eat your Smarties, that's what it is. It's for Smarties. Now, did we give AI a beautiful summary? It says a creator discusses career paths and childhood cereal preferences. It was a great one. Hello, Super Sugar Crisp. Oh, yes. A bowl of air in the morning, but it was such tasty air. It just, when you get those Sugar Crisps, you just eat a whole box. It really felt like you didn't eat anything. But they were delicious. They were delicious. So if you had your bowl of cereal, what cartoon are you going to watch? If we're sitting down watching Saturday morning cartoons with a bowl of like 80s or 90s cereal, you got to give some people a little little boost. Some young kiddos here today. What cartoon are you watching? Or show. I mean, it could be a show. I think that I don't know, it's a tough one. Rin Tin Tin. I was not expecting that. I was not expecting Rin Tin Tin. You totally threw me, Sha'Ryah. What about you? What cartoon or show? Ooh, wow. Scooby-Doo. I probably watched some Scooby-Doo. Little House on the Prairie. Totally Little House on the Prairie. Michael Landon didn't know it, but I adopted him as my dad when I was a kid because I watched everything that man was in. Pretty much, right? So I would watch him in Highway to Heaven, and I would watch him in just everything. So he was my TV dad. He didn't know it. I'm sure he was a lot of people's TV dad, though, to be fair, like the roles that he played in, right? Hmm. But I don't, do you watch TV now? Who watches TV now? Bugs Bunny, right? Yeah. Oh, Felix the cat. Hmm. That'd be nice, right? It'd be kind of nice to teleport back in time to where you didn't realize you didn't realize the things that you didn't realize. Like you were just living in your you were just living in your little bubble of cartoons and cereal. You weren't looking at it going, oh my God, what's in this bowl? Should I eat it? Or what are they putting on the TV? Should I even be watching it? All right. It was simpler times indeed. Indeed. All right. Let's get the cards out. Let's check and see what's going on with the energy. And while we're at it, please definitely like keep talking, because I'd also like to know how everyone's doing. What are you struggling with? What are you working on? What are you creating? Right? Because I see when we're looking out there into society, we're seeing a bunch of different things, right? We're seeing some people who are struggling very, very much, or we're seeing things like Belfast, right? Like there's a lot of stuff going on out there. But then we're also seeing people who are turning away from that and they're creating beautiful new pathways. Hi, Juliet from Uganda. Beautiful. I've done a lot of different travels in my time. I worked as a flight nurse and flew around the world for 7 years. And so I got to see a lot of different places, but I'd never been to Uganda. Welcome. Nice to see you. Hi, Loves the Way. How are you, Leslie? How are you doing? No TV in 27 years. Impressive. I haven't been that long. I don't not have no TV. I just have very limited TV. I mostly just choose when, and I'm very selective with the things that I watch. Now, right now, we have that Disclosure movie that's all the rage, and you have to be careful, right? Because we have to remember the energy that we're putting into something is going to grow and expand, and it will grow and expand for us in our own personal lives as well. So we want to avoid being in situations of fear and lack or hate or rage, because those are bad for your body, right? And it's not about emotions not being valid. Every emotion is valid because every emotion is going to tell you something. They're information, right? Oh yeah. I don't watch the news. I don't watch the news. I don't watch those things at all. I don't watch most of mainstream TV. Like I don't even have a cable program. The only thing I have is a Prime account, and that's because I write books and publish them on Amazon. And I order stuff occasionally. So a Prime account. So I have Prime. That's it. That's the only thing I have. I don't have anything else, except YouTube. But I have YouTube for work. So that's a different thing. We can't count this card, guys, because even though it's a good card, it's the Four of Fire. But we're not going to count it because I have to clean the cards before we use them. Right? I want to make sure that we get a clear reading for today. So, right? It's so expensive to get cable now. It's like, no, thank you. Right? Yeah. No, thank you. No, thank you. All right, let's clean our cards. I have this little guy here. And I have all of these here. So one of the books I've been talking about that I'm writing is called Elemental Fieldwork Codex. And it's about reestablishing a relationship with the five elements. Okay. So well, I did finally. Almost didn't. You know when it almost lights the thing, the strip on? And my TP. Aw. How are you doing? You know what? I would like to make a TP on my property. I also want to make my own drum. That's something that I really, really want to do. I wish I could, I should look into it. Because when it comes to getting a true drum, and so I'm Mohawk in my history, and so for me it would be you're either gifted it or you make it, right? And you're not supposed to buy it. You're supposed to be gifted it or you make it. And I just haven't had the opportunity for either. No one's gifted me one. No, and I haven't made one. But I'd like to find one to make. All right. Let's check on the energy. Okay. No. I don't. Okay, so we're not going to go into talking a bunch about like I don't want to talk about politics like that in that sense, right? There are a lot of things that are happening in the world right now, and what I want us to do is to just really focus our powerful energy and awareness and attention on the good things and on the type of world that we would like to see, where peace is there, where we're in unity, consciousness, whatever it is, right? So we want to hold those viewpoints and that energy that'll put our attention on the things that are good, so we get more good, right? Yeah. And I don't know if anyone right now currently in any political area or spaces is someone that would be the right one to look after the free world, right? Like, I believe that when it comes to that, people are going to be put in positions based on frequency, on resonance, on vibration, on harmony, on integrity, on so many other things. Oh no, I don't disagree with that. I don't disagree with that. That he could be, that when you're looking out there, you might be able to easily say, well, I think this individual is more connected to their soul or is more whatever, right? But until, like, we don't really know. And yeah, we just have to be careful. I love you so much too, sweetie. Thank you for the gifts. All right, let's see what we have for the collective. Okay, so remember, wait. Actually, before we do these cards, I want to read the channeled message. Okay, so we'll read the channeled message first, and then we'll do that. Brand new first one. I finished the book. I finished the whole composition book of channeled messages. Finished something. Check that off. I finished a book. I'm publishing my 21st book on the 21st of June. And that is the 7th book in the Unlikely Heroine Chronicles. And it is Sha'Ryah and the Ghost Who is Afraid of the Dark. I have several books. Like, I have so many books written or in concept phases. I have some that are partially written. I have some, like I said, the Elemental Fieldwork Codex. I'm writing that one. I'm writing a book on embodied spirituality. I'm writing a book, a series called the Peacekeeper series. I have so many children's books. I have other series of children's books to write. Like, if I could sit down and just write all the time and put books together and just publish books and spend most of my time just doing that, because I just get so many ideas. and then I write, and away we go. Alrighty. So I'm going to read the message. I've talked to you guys about this before, that you can do this too. You don't need me to do it. And that's what I teach, is embodied spirituality, which is you learn so you can do it yourself, and you're not looking at someone else outside of you to do it. So my practice with doing this, I have a whole morning routine. Where I get up in the morning and I face the sun, whether it's there shining back in my face or so it could be shining right in my face or not, and it doesn't matter. And I would probably say, because you need to have a shower. I'm just gonna say that. Someone just asked a weird question. So weird answer. So when I do this, I wake up in the morning and I do my routine. And my routine is some breath work, sitting in presence. I have decrees that I speak. I have breath, like I said, breath work that I do. I do toning and all these things in the morning. So I'm really connecting to my monad and my oversoul, and being very present with everything around me. I have communication with my spirit guides. I do all of that. And then I grab my book and a pen and I ask for a message from the collective, and I just write what comes up. Now, you can do that for yourself. You could easily grab a book and a pen and just breathe and connect inward. And then you just ask for a message and you just write what comes out. And you don't censor it, you just write it. And then when you're done you read it, and you'll be surprised the message that you receive from your higher self, from your spirit team, right? So this is the message that I received today, okay? And this is for the collective, because I specifically ask for a message for the collective, and then I do a message for myself. All right. Today was a new start, just like every day is. As this message gets written in a brand new page, another new start. There is no such thing as endings, just new beginnings. Thank you. As I got to pull this closer so I can read it. I got to pull it down. I'm holding it up here and I can't read it. We're going to hold it differently. All right. There's no such thing as endings, just new beginnings. And every day you get the opportunity to start again. Start new and create something different. Instead of reaching for your phone to distract you, maybe this day you choose to remain present with yourself and your breath. You don't need a new day to make a change. You just need a moment and the intention to change. Maybe today, in one moment, you choose to express your truth finally. Maybe in one moment, you decide to immerse yourself in nature, walking in total presence with all life around you. Maybe in one moment, you decide enough is enough and you leave something that was not aligned or toxic. The point is, your life is made up of moments that become days. You don't need a whole day to make a change. You just need one moment. Choose to see and know the truth and make that moment stretch into the next. Choose to know your worth and value and to never think you are too much or not enough, and let that moment become millions more. Change in one moment and keep it in future moments. Take a breath and a next. Take a step and another. Take a bite and one more. Moment to moment, second to second, our lives are created. You don't need a whole day to change. You just need a moment. So there you go. Hello, Mama. What did you think about that? And thank you, Alexander, for joining the fan club. I appreciate you. I am Canadian. Why do your armpits smell like frogs? Does that sound like a weird question? Right? Aw, sweethearts. Both of you are asking the same questions realistically. And one of the things that I'm going to give you is the opportunity to answer that question for yourself. Okay? So your body tells you things well before your brain kicks in and starts saying nope and starts telling you all kinds of other things. So you're just going to get real quiet and real still, and you're going to ask yourself that question, and you're going to listen for the first thing that comes up. Before your mind starts justifying, you're probably going to either feel in your body some like a tension, a tightening, a contraction, a heavy weight, a sadness. You might even feel like you want to cry. You're going to feel something in your body. And you might even hear yes, no, not yet. You might hear something small like that, right? So sit in silence and in stillness and breathe, and then ask yourself the question and see what your body says and what the first thing is that pops up in your mind. Okay. And that'll tell you the truth for you, not, and I can pull cards later. Right now, we're going to do the collective because I just wanted to do that message before I did the collective reading. So let's check and see what the cards have to say for the collective. It's giving us a pile of cards here. Okay. All right. Let's see what else we have. That might be all. They might have said just those cards right there. You're welcome. Does that feel better though? Does it feel better to go and to seek within your, like to find the answer within yourself as opposed to somebody else giving you the response? Good. Good. All right. Let's check on these guys. We got quite a few here. I know. Wow. Okay. So we've got the Fool. Who's my favorite Canadian other than myself? My children. And then my, like, to be fair, I'm of course going to pick my kiddos. So the Fool, we've got the Fool out, and the Fool was in the reverse, which means that's this hesitancy to start something new. And there is something new that needs to be started. And when we're looking at the collectively, we need to start making all of the things that we need that are going to replace the things that are not working. Right? We're seeing a lot of things around us that are just not working. They're not conducive to life, right? They're not positive for humanity as a whole. And we need to replace those structures if we don't agree with them, right? If you think that the financial system is broken, or if the political system is broken, or that, whatever's broken, if it's broken, we need to have the solution. We need to implement the change. And so this is just saying that there's hesitancy to do that. And it might be because we're all standing around, well, who's going to do it? Who's going to do it? Who's going to be the first person? Who's going to be the one to start it? So that's a big collective energy that's coming out right now. We did get the Four of Fire coming out, but the Four of Fire was in the inverted, and so was the Emperor. And the Emperor, this is very rigid energy. And when we're seeing going on in the world right now, right, we're seeing all over the world, we're seeing people who are rising up against the Emperor. Because the Emperor in many situations, and that could be a president, a prime minister, whatever, but those officials that are in those places of like that Emperor energy, they are inverted right now. They're not showing us like leadership. They're not showing us like appropriate leadership. What they're showing us is more rigidity and control, and there's this resistance to any change that's occurring. There's an imbalance of power that we're seeing right now as well, and they are also struggling to assert their authority. Like you can see in a lot of places where it's starting to fall apart. Right. So this is the energy that's coming up with this card. And for many of us, there's a little key message here that goes down to the individual as opposed to the collective. And that's on the individual level. There's a lack of discipline. Now, we look at discipline and we think of it as being aligned with punishment. But that's not what discipline is. Discipline is actually devotion, right? When you have discipline, you get up every day and you do what is necessary, even if it's not fun or it's not, your favorite thing to do. You're going to do what is necessary to get where you want to go. And I don't mind. I don't mind Jordan Peterson. Some of his stuff. It's I don't think I look at anybody too much and go 100% sold on everything. I just, there's some of the things that he shares, I don't agree with. And then some of the things that he does, I do. That's, and as a person, I don't know him individually, so I can't say whether I like him or not. But that's the best that I can give you for that. Okay. So then we also had the world in the inverted, and we can see right now we are living in a very inverted situation right now, right? Where a lot of things just don't make sense. It's really upside down. And when we're looking at that, what the world represents is closure. It's a closure of a cycle. And right now, we're not closing that cycle. Many of us have seen it. We saw the release of the files, and when we saw that, nothing changed, nothing happened. So they're still in their positions. We're still paying, people are still giving money to them. They're still making money. Like nobody got charged. Nobody's paid any reparations. There's been no repercussions. There's been none of that, right? So that is there's this lack of closure, and that's what the earth in their inverse is talking about, is that lack of closure that we're experiencing. There's possibility that many of us are feeling, like we're incomplete in somewhere. There's something missing, and we are feeling that a lot of that just lack, that there's this lack energy that's out there. A lot of us are experiencing that fear of the next level, the fear of what's coming next, right? Because, my goodness, what we're seeing out there right now consistently over and over and over again, it's not showing us something that makes us think that the next thing's going to be wonderful, right? It's more like, well, what's the next thing? Like, wow, with what's going on everywhere, how bad is it going to get? That's the energy that we're looking at with the stuff that they're perpetuating out there. When you pull your attention away from that, then you can focus on your own space and, the positive that's within your own realm. And so we're just going through some final lessons right now before we can move forward. And that's what the world card is representing. So I'm just going through the major arcana first, and then we'll look at the other minor cards. Major arcana are longer term, right? They are bigger lessons, whereas the minors they can be more of something that's happening within a day or within a week, or, they're more personal, more short term, in that way. Okay, so we've got the Hermit as well. And the Hermit, when the Hermit's out, it's talking about introspection and solitude. And there's so many of us that have pulled back from society because we just can't go out and have conversations with people that are absolutely blind to everything that's going on around us. And it's challenging. So as you wake up to the truths, you start to pull yourself back to yourself. And also when we're going through our healing journey, so not just the awakening portion, but if you're going through your healing journey, there's a moment in time when you start to withdraw from the people around you, because oftentimes that is the space that you were traumatized in. So you start to pull yourself back from that. You start to close yourself off from people who weren't aligned with you or who were unhealthy for you, right? So if you look at somebody who was maybe battling addiction, when they go into their isolation, one of the things they might start to do is look at it and go, I can't be around these people anymore because they are attached to the addiction that I had. And in order for me to be successful, I have to close that door and walk away from those people. So there's this, the spiritual seeking that's happening, and that deep wisdom, because the Hermit is all about going inside for inner wisdom. So that's what the information, or what the Hermit is telling us to do, is to go inside, to do that deep soul searching. Okay, so those are the major arcana. The only one, so the two that reference signs, this is the major arcana, the Emperor, which refers to Aries as astrology. And then the Hermit refers to Virgo. So if you're any of those signs, it might have a little bit more meaning to you. All right, let's see what all these other cards are up to. All right. So look at the reversed cards. We have the Two of Air in the reverse. When we're looking at twos are about balance or crossroads, decisions. So it's like when you're splitting, right? So when we're looking at the Two of Air is mental. So when we're having a split in something that we're thinking about, we're making a decision and we have to make a choice, right? So when we are in the reverse, though, this means that we're overcoming whatever doubt it was. And we're actually going to make that decision. So we're getting more clarity. We're seeing through the illusions. And in doing so, we're gaining inner peace. All right, we've got the King of Earth in the shadow position. When it's in the reverse, this is speaking of greed. You can see a lot of greed in society. It's actually between greed and consumption, the thing that's destroying the earth the fastest, right? So there is financial mismanagement. We see that with everything around us, right? It's like we are seeing record high grocery prices, record high uses of the food bank, record high rent prices, record high gas prices, no raises, none of that stuff. And then we're seeing them give money to all these other countries or to all these other programs, or we're seeing things unfold where they're just revealing like the absolute level of fraud that's everywhere, right? So we see financial mismanagement in the collective, massive financial mismanagement, right? There is materialism, there's rigidity, there's neglecting your emotional connections for material worth. And we see a lot of that disconnecting from the beautiful, from humanity, right? From, and being, when you watch someone like Sam Altman talk, right? If you watch him talk, or you talk, all of them, there's so many out there that are talking about like people as if they are just cattle and can go and die. Like it's really sad. All right, we've also got the Four of Fire that was in the reverse position. So this is talking about instability, impatience, lack of recognition, and feeling disconnected from progress. So this fiery energy is within the collective as well. Yeah, there's so many out there, though, that you can see them where they talk about humans as if, oh, we're just going to decrease the population. It's no big deal. They're humans. They're living. Like, how do you just talk so callously? Or, when they talk about how water isn't a right, and water isn't a necessity. Water isn't a right of life, right? Like, what? Those type of people, when you watch them talk, you can see like there's a lack of connection to emotions at all. Like there's just, right? Oh, there's more than enough. There's more than enough. All right, then we have the Seven of Fire. And this fiery card was in the upright, and it's talking about defiance. We're seeing this in Belfast. We're seeing this in Italy. We're seeing this in the UK. They're starting this, right? We're seeing this in little pockets around the world where there's the resistance. There's the we are done. There's this resilience. There is protection, holding your position, and asserting boundaries, right? You don't know what to, yeah. All right. And then for those of you that are here, because this card can only be truly seen and to be experienced, so you have to actually watch the live to see it, we are going to get the cosmic key. And the cosmic key is the divine unlocking and sacred passage. This is an energetic activation, a divine passageway that bridges the seen and unseen, the known and the forgotten. It carries the blueprint of your soul's full potential. So the way to activate it is to sit in stillness and visualize the cosmic key glowing before you. You're going to feel its light expand, dissolving veils. I couldn't read. It was so small. Dissolving veils and opening quantum passageways. Then you're going to ask, what am I ready to unlock? What am I ready to unlock? Okay. And then you're going to listen. You may feel something, you may see something, you may know something, because your information doesn't always come up in hearing, and it doesn't always come up in a visual, right? Every one of us can receive information in a variety of different ways. So the cosmic key says, I have waited for you across lifetimes, resting within your soul's infinite light. You are ready now. I do not unlock what is not already within you. I simply reveal what you have always held. The path is clear. The time is now. Step through. Okay. So this is time for you to step through, level up. Okay. Yep. Oh yeah, I know. Michael Jackson, he was a true light. He was a true light, for sure. All right. So what do you guys want? We got a few. I'm going to start the meditation shortly. Probably by 11, we'll start the meditation so we can chat for a little bit. If you have any questions, or yeah, if you have any questions, let's talk. Could be talking about spirituality, healing, and I do have cards. I have a bunch of cards. You're like, what did your answer reveal for you? And I don't do questions like that. Okay, Alexander, the way that I do my cards is I ask, what is the message that you need to hear? And then I'll give you the message that you need to hear. Okay. All right, Spirit. Can I get a message for Alexander? Apparently a few of them. You're welcome. So a couple cards fell out. And one of the things that I have done in changing in the way that I work on my channel is that I don't give people a whole bunch of cards, because, like, I would prefer, if you want a whole bunch of cards, that you go over to my website and book a reading, and I'll do a personalized reading with a whole bunch of cards for you. And I laughed because I just wanted to look and see what the cards were to get the overall message of it. And it's interesting because I want to read this card for you, and you'll understand why. Oh, I should hold it in the upright position. So this is the Seven of Air, and the Seven of Air, the little blurb for it, or the little key phrase, is the hidden truth. Okay. And it was in the inverse or reversed, right? So when it's in the reverse, it's talking about clarity, about truth being revealed, about breaking through deception, and personal integrity. The message, the Seven of Air, is a reminder that discernment is your greatest power. That's why I was trying to teach you with that little thing about sitting with yourself and asking the question, and feeling in your body and listening for the first thing that comes up. That's your discernment. So you can ask yourself the questions and know within yourself what is right or what is wrong or what is true for you, and not give your sovereignty or your authority to somebody else. Right. And the reason why we tend to go to people is it'll come in a couple of ways, right? Sometimes we come in and we're like, okay, I think things are over, but I don't want it to be over. So you're hoping that you'll go in and someone will say, no, it's not over. It's okay. Everything's, so you're looking for validation or confirmation to soothe you when you're feeling it's the opposite. So you want someone to make you feel good when your body or your mind or what you're feeling is saying it's not okay. And then sometimes it's the other way, right? You're like, it is. And so you're like, you just want someone else to come out and say, yep, it is. And then you're like, okay, I knew it was. I just wanted to know for sure. right? It could be that kind of thing. So your discernment is the most important thing that you can get. All right. So you're being asked to see beyond illusions, to trust your interactions, and navigate carefully. If something feels off, investigate further. The truth will always reveal itself. Okay. So I'll tell you with the other cards that came up, we had this, there's going to be a rapid movement. So what's going to happen is going to be quickly. You're going to find the truth out and be able to make decisions based on that. So the truth is going to be revealed very quickly. The other card spoke about there being an imbalance and a resistance to change and disharmony, which you're speaking of, because if things were good, you wouldn't be asking if things are over. And then with the last card that came out, it was talking about manipulation, illusions, misuse of power, unfilled potential, all of that energy. So take what you want from that. The Seven of Air is the card that I've read for you, but those are the other influences that were there. So whatever's going to come up is going to come up quickly. Okay. And if you want a whole reading, hop on over to my website. There's lots to choose from. And if you have any questions, you can always do a free call. And in that free call, I will tell you. You're welcome. You're welcome. All righty. We're getting close. We got 10 minutes of chatting and stuff like that, that we can do. And after hi, Sharkbait, how are you? Oh, nice. Nice. I'd like to travel abroad. Where would you go? Where would you like to go? If you're traveling abroad, where would you go? Nice. Have you ever been? I've never been to there. I've been to Beijing. But yeah, I've never been to Hong Kong or Japan or Singapore, none of them. Nice. Very nice. That would be cool. I would love to go to Japan. I just want to go to see their bathrooms. I just want to go and experience, like, they know how to do bathrooms. When I build my house, that's going to be my thing. It'll be, can you build it like them? Just exactly right. Exciting. So when I do readings for people on my thing, I don't ask specific questions. I just ask, what is the message that you need to receive right now? So what's the message that Sharkbait needs to hear right now? Right? What is the message? They went a flying. All right. So if you want a direct answer, I know, I want that. I don't want to use toilet paper. I would rather that whole experience, that would be the best. It would so much be the best. The Japan knew, they just knew what to do. All righty. So 2 cards came out. It's just got everything. So, and I'm going to be nice. I'm going to be nice. If you wanted a direct yes, no, the best card that you could get for a yes, no is the Sun card, because when the Sun comes up in the upright position, it actually means yes. But for you, it came up in the inverted, which meant no. And that doesn't necessarily mean it's a direct no, but that's that. So with the 2 cards, because I was nice and kind of gave Alexander what the backs of his cards meant. The 6 of Air is talking about moving on. So there's something that you're moving on from, which I'm assuming that's part of the reason to travel abroad too. There's healing, there's new perspectives, and there is a spiritual journey that you are going through. But the sun with the reversed is talking about there's temporary sadness, some clouded visions, self-doubt, fear of being seen, and blocked joy. So, like I said, when we're looking at this card referencing in the upright a yes, in the reverse, it would indicate a no. And if you want a direct answer to the question that you're asking, then it could give you that. But what it is talking about is whatever the journey is that you're going on, there's healing that needs to happen. And to what I'm getting to say to you is to allow yourself, whatever the sadness is, to allow yourself to experience those emotions and move through them, not to bypass them, because that's how you're going to heal them. That's the message. That's the message. Are you on a spiritual journey? Possibly not. I think this is going to be a spiritual journey, and that might be more of an internal thing. But you never know. Maybe that's the spiritual journey. Maybe the spiritual journey is traveling to Japan. Was it for spiritual reasons? Was it for healing purposes? Oh, tea is warm. You're welcome, love. All righty. So we're getting ready, just about to do the global meditation, because I was going to start that at 11. So if there's any other questions, I got 5 minutes beforehand. So ask away. You can ask about healing. You can ask about awakening or ascension. You can ask about those things, and I will answer you. And then we are going to, like I said, at 11 o'clock, we'll start the meditation. Mamma Mia. I went and saw that in theater. It was beautiful. Nope, nobody has any questions. Nobody has any questions. Good morning. Good morning. All right, I'm gonna get the song queued up then. And get myself ready to go for the live. Hello, hello. Where is it? Nope, that's not the one. I'm looking for my stuff. Are you ready for the meditation? All right. So when we do the meditation, we are going to be using sacred geometry. I'm going to be toning. I'm going to be doing oh, there's my puzzle. Perfect. See, I have to wait until just after the hour because it makes you do a puzzle. And if I don't wait till that's over, then it'll interrupt the middle of the meditation. So we're going to be doing a global meditation. This meditation is going to be beneficial for you as well, because we do an individual portion of it to work on your energy and all of that. And then the global part. And the meditation is about unity, peace, truth, and love, and also elevating to the highest divine harmonic timeline, so to speak. And just have to be careful and make sure. 1 second. You know what? I actually think this one will be fine. So we are listening to 639 hertz for this meditation. And I just want, if you can, if you're doing the meditation with me, can you give me a little comment here, like a thumbs up or a check mark or a yes, to let me know that the volume is okay, that you can hear me well, and that is not overpowering. I can close that. And okay. Is it good? The volume's good? If nobody's complaining, I just need to wait for that one to give me the little puzzle piece thing. And once I do the puzzle piece, we'll start the meditation. Okay. So the more of us that join, the better. And it doesn't matter when you're catching the meditation, it is powerful at that point. You still get to involve yourself with the energy of everybody else when we did it originally, even though you're joining in later. So do note that. Okay. Alrighty, so nobody said anything about the music, and for some reason this one's really just delaying with its little puzzle that it wants me to do, so I'll just have to keep my eye on it. One more minute. So we're going to be doing a global meditation on peace, unity, love, and truth, while also just moving ourselves to our divine highest timeline. Okay. Like this one would just give me its little puzzle to do so I could complete the little task that TikTok does. Morichi, buenos dias. ¿Cómo está? I have to come back down to Costa Rica. I need to practice my Spanish too. There's the puzzle. It finally came up. And it's cool because it almost looks like a stream that I could have been in Costa Rica too. That was one of my favorite things when I lived there, was walking. I would walk 5 kilometers every morning, and the halfway part was the stream, and it was just beautiful. I was so mesmerized by all the birds, all the plants, just all the life there, and it's just gorgeous. Some days I would be brave and I would swim in the creek all by myself. In the river. It was definitely a river. I would swim in it all by myself. Even though there was always that part of me that was like, I know there's bitey things. I know there's bitey things there. But I would brave it and do it anyway. Yeah. It was beautiful. One of my favorite experiences of my life was the time that I spent living in Costa Rica. It was beautiful. Beautiful. All right, let's get our meditation on. Let's get our meditation on, guys and gals. And so what I want you to do is just put your phone in, or whatever device you're using, put it in a safe space, and also put yourself in a good space. So you want to be sitting upright. Just imagine that there's a chain attached to the top of your head and it's just pulling you just slightly, not big time, just slightly upward. So you're in that nice straight position. And when you're ready, close your eyes and let's begin. Welcome. Today we gather not to impose, not to control, and not to override free will, but to become coherent harmonic resonance with the living field. We gather in peace, we gather in love, we gather in truth, and we gather in unity. May this meditation serve all willing and consenting beings, Mother Gaia, and all non-speaking life aligned with harmony, and the highest timelines available to each soul in accordance with divine law. Take a slow breath in and exhale gently. When you're slowing down your breathing, inhale through the nose all the way into your tummy, then up into your chest. Pause slightly at the top, and then exhale through your mouth or pursed lips, and ensure that the exhale is longer than the inhale. Allow yourself to fall into that space that comes up as we lengthen our exhale. And take another one in through the nose, down into the tummy, up into the chest, pausing, and then exhaling. Before we transmit outward, we stabilize inward. Feel your body. Feel the chair beneath you. Feel your seat connecting to that surface. Feel the earth beneath you. Feel the steadiness, the stability, the strength. Feel your breath moving through you, in and out, before it begins again, in and out. Relax your jaw. Allow it to fall slightly open, and allow your tongue to rest gently in the bottom of your mouth, pulling it away from the roof. Relax your shoulders. Gently allow them to lengthen the distance between your shoulder and your ear. Allow them to soften. Allow the tension within your shoulders to alleviate. If they're really tense, breathe into that space and allow it to relax on the exhale even more. Relax your belly. Allow it to soften. Allow that wave of peace and stillness to roll over your body and the relaxation to spread throughout every cell. There is nowhere to force yourself to be. Your nervous system is part of the meditation. It's safe to relax. It's safe to be present. It's safe to be still. I want you to visualize a luminous point of stillness in the center of your chest. A point before thought, before fear, before separation. Allow the tone to move through your body like a wave of peace. Now visualize two spheres of light overlapping, one above and one below. Spirit and matter, heaven and earth, self and source. Where they meet, the Vesica Pisces forms. This is the geometry of birth. Of creation. Of union. Of coherence. Allow the field to soften. Allow the heart to open naturally. Now the Vesica begins to multiply, expanding outward, forming the flower of origin. Don't worry if you're unfamiliar with that particular sacred geometry. Your higher self knows Source knows, and ultimately you know. This is living geometry. It is harmonic symmetry. It is the architecture of interconnected life. See every circle connected. Every being connected. Every life influencing the whole. Now we send harmony through the emotional waters of humanity and Gaia. See ripple rings moving outward across the earth. Through oceans, through hearts, through nervous systems. No force, no control, only harmonic invitation. Now, from the center of the flower, a rose spiral emerges. The harmonic geometry of love. No attachment, not possession, not emotional control. But coherent love, stable love, living love. May all willing hearts remember coherence. Now visualize a golden Merkaba surrounding your body. Two interlocking tetrahedrons or pyramids spinning in perfect harmony. One clockwise, the other counterclockwise. Now see the same geometry surrounding the earth itself. Spinning in perfect harmony. Your light body and the planetary light body are stabilizing. Now we anchor into Mother Gaia. Feel your energetic roots descending into the earth from the bottom of your feet, from your root chakra. See them expand outward, connecting energetically into the root system of Mother Gaia, into the mycelium network, into the crystalline grid. Feel your energy descend into crystal, into water, into stone, into soil. May Gaia stabilize into her highest harmonic expression. And may all participants and all consenting individuals and life forms stabilize into their highest harmonic expression. Now, above the earth, see a canopy of stars. Ancient suns, living consciousness, cosmic memory. Zoom. May all willing beings remember their place within the living cosmos. May you remember the truth of who you are, where you came from, the lives you've had, and why you came this time, and what you're meant to do. Now I'm going to slowly go through all of the tones. Feel the field settling. Feel peace without force. Feel love without attachment. Feel unity without assimilation. Feel truth without fear. May all transmissions offered today serve only the highest good, divine love, divine truth, divine law, and the sovereign evolution of all willing beings. May Mother Gaia be supported in her highest harmonic expression. May all life move forward toward greater coherence, peace, and remembrance according to its own sacred path. And so it is. Now take a breath. Feel your body. Feel your feet. Feel your seat. Place your awareness on your chest. And this time, when you take a breath, feel your chest rise and fall. And when you're ready, feel the earth and open your eyes. Gently return. Well, welcome back. That was about a half an hour worth of meditation. and an hour worth of hanging out and chatting and checking in with the collective. And I think that was absolutely perfect. Just remember, anytime that you do the meditation, you still do the meditation with everybody else, and contribute your energy to that whole thing, because time's an illusion. All right. I love you guys. It's Saturday. Go out and enjoy your day. I'm going to go out and enjoy some sunshine while we have it, because we've had a lot of cloud in Alberta this past little while. So I'm going to go and enjoy some sunshine and some warmth. Thank you so much for coming and hanging out with me today. Thank you for all the likes and comments, and, just your awareness, your attention. It's the most powerful thing that you have. So make sure that you're using it and sharing it in the right spaces. Okay. Put your attention and awareness on the things that you want to grow. All right. I love you. And I will see you back here on Sunday night. So tomorrow night at 6 p.m., we'll do more talking spiritual embodiment, healing, and we'll do a check-in with the energy of the week and see what we're looking at with the living sky and what it's doing. We are coming into solstice in just over a week's time, but that'll be next week's discussion. Alrighty, get out there, go have fun, go be kind. Small acts of kindness are very powerful. A hug can change your life. And on that note, do remember that I also have a nonprofit that I am a co-owner of. So we are always looking for volunteers, donations, and community support with all of that. We currently have 300 hygiene kits that we want to turn into 300 complete backpacks. You can help us out with that by going and donating at hugsforhomeless.com. Your donations, every single one of them matter. We have lots of low or inexpensive ways to get involved. We even created the Compassion Crew, where you get a monthly newsletter that includes a little puzzle that you get to do, all for $1, and your dollar goes directly to help those who are living on the streets. And like I said, we appreciate all of your help, even sharing. Sharing is entirely free. So you can share content, you can follow us, you can get the message out there. So those things are available and entirely free or very inexpensive. All right. I love you guys. Check out the website, hugsforhomeless.com, and for my services, and Sha'Ryah.com. The link is in the bio. I will see you guys Sunday night. Love you.